Without any warning, we were called and asked to help. And each day, help came in the form of a request for 10s, 20, 50,000 meals. And each day, we sat down as a team and looked and thought, how could we possibly do this? But understanding the situation, we just pulled together and made it happen.
This place has been like a godsend for us. All these people that are working here, we consider them our angels. They really, when we come in here, with the food, that's been terrific. The way they wait on us hand and foot. They sit with us, they talk. We become friends, with these people, and we need this.
Well, I've learned from this experience that sometimes we all need help and that we really are a brotherhood, which is something I've really noticed out here, and that right now we're on hallowed ground, and it's an honor to serve.
For the Salvation Army in New York, Whitsons has been a valuable partner in service for over a decade. Originally hired on to handle the food service operations for some of the Army's major shelters and social service centers, Whitsons has played a crucial role in the success and mission of the Salvation Army in the greater New York area. This partnership took on a whole new dimension on September 11th.
On September 11th at 8:46, the first plane hits the North Tower, and pretty much 30 minutes afterwards, the first mobile kitchens for the Salvation Army arrived on scene. The city at that point calls the Salvation Army and says, we need 35,000 sandwiches for lunch. I need 60,000 sandwiches for dinner. And I immediately say, okay, no problem. Hang up, and then the staff here who were in the command center began to worry about how to do that. Of course, when you're asked to accomplish something of that magnitude, the first thing you would do is look for your contractors, look for the people who are already in service, you already have an agreement with, you already have a relationship, and that was Whitsons. They, over the years, have gained an understanding into the mission of the Salvation Army. They understand some of the compassion, some of the services that are provided to individuals who simply need the Salvation Army on presence in communities where they're located.
Mobilized at a moment's notice, Whitson's assessment team pulled together local and national resources to develop a customized disaster relief plan that fell in step with the structure and operation of the Salvation Army's disaster relief strategy. An example of this depth of service is Whitson's ability to make a great tasting meal out of a variety of donated and purchased products that change each day. It was part of Whitson's responsibility to manage the thousands of donations coming in daily to the Salvation Army, supplementing these products with donations from Whitson's and their suppliers. Whitson's rounded out the menu with products purchased from local and national suppliers. They also managed off-site and on-site food production, supervised on-site food rethermalization and serving, trained volunteer and Salvation Army personnel at each site, and supplied equipment ranging from on-site kitchens to tents and semi-permanent shelters.
We had the expertise, we had the equipment, we had the people, we had the background, we had the training skills in place. So what we did was we separated ourselves into the different divisions that we specialize in: sanitation, safety, training, and all went out there on site as a management team and began training the volunteers how to handle food safely. Things that they could have never done without a big food service organization behind them 100%. Taking the responsibilities off of them, leaving them to do what they did best, and that was counseling the hundreds of thousands of people that needed grief counseling.
Working under the direction of the Salvation Army, Whitson's coordinated and supervised all aspects of the food service effort in the New York area, including Ground Zero, the medical examiner's office, and the Staten Island landfill. This meant more than just food procurement, cooking, storage, and rethermalization. Whitsons handled equipment procurement, which enabled the Salvation Army to be good stewards by giving them the opportunity to rent or purchase. They also provided the management and logistical expertise needed to seamlessly transfer the Salvation Army's operation at Ground Zero from canteens and makeshift tents to an 80-foot tall EPA hazmat tent the size of a football field. Whitsons made available everything from fresh fruit to first aid supplies, whatever the rescue workers and the Salvation Army needed. Even their negotiating skills with vendors benefited the Army, with a reduction in service fees for such items as dry cleaning volunteer aprons. Their partnership with the Salvation Army meant far more than providing food service.
Well, I think the partnership that's taking place here is terrific because we have the Salvation Army, we have volunteer workers, disaster relief from every state in the Union, and we have Whitsons. And between us all, we've done a terrific food service here. It's been easy, it's been fun, we've done a great job with the guys.
As the hours turned into days and weeks, the scope of Whitson's service to the Salvation Army broadened. It was critical that Whitson stayed in touch with the day-to-day relief operation.
Every day, one of the management techniques that Whitsons has provided is to give me a management staff person from their location to sit in my management staff meetings every morning at 8 o'clock. And every morning, anytime I have a complaint, he's there to answer it. He's there to make it better so that today is always better than yesterday. And with Whitsons, I'm guaranteed that tomorrow is always going to be better than today.
When the recovery effort at Ground Zero entered into its third month, Whitsons and the Salvation Army realized their meal service operation would be needed for an indefinite period of time. With their goal being to bring a sense of normalcy back into the affected area around Ground Zero, Whitsons and the Salvation Army devised a plan to help stimulate the local economy by revitalizing the restaurants impacted by the September 11th attacks. Whitson's professionalism and service flexibility is reflected in their management and coordination of the Restaurant Revitalization Program.
We developed a concept called the Restaurant Revitalization Program, where we began purchasing meals from the local restaurants and serving them to the rescue workers. So to supplement Whitson's food service, we began purchasing lunches and dinners under the management of Whitsons, where we'd go in, we'd check temperatures, check the sanitation conditions, the safety conditions. We brought in some vehicles of Whitsons and we began picking up from the restaurants, bringing the food down at Ground Zero, heating it up and serving it.
This program began with 3,500 lunch meals donated each day at Ground Zero. It quickly grew to 5,000 daily meals donated by up to 65 area restaurants. This supplemented the over 10,000 meals served day to day at Ground Zero, the medical examiner's office, and the Staten Island landfill. These two additional locations started with just the distribution of water, coffee, snacks, and sandwiches served under a stretched-out tarp across a sidewalk and in a Salvation Army canteen. At the medical examiner's office location, Whitsons and the Salvation Army realized a more permanent structure was needed to house what very quickly became a long-term food service operation. So, a section of sidewalk along the back wall of NYU's Medical Center became the site for the Army's wooden structure housing a full kitchen and dining area. The service at the Staten Island landfill started in a similar, humble fashion. However, this location too turned into a more permanent operation, with Whitsons stepping in alongside the Salvation Army to professionally handle the management of the site. In disasters such as the September 11 attacks on the World Trade Center, providing quality food service over a sustained period of time can be a great challenge to the Salvation Army and its volunteers. Whitsons is uniquely positioned to react quickly to disaster relief situations, great or small, natural or man-made, because of their expertise in food and service solutions. The strength of their relationship with the Salvation Army and the collaboration of resources and talents is key to the success of this partnership. Planning ahead and being prepared with a solid disaster relief plan is important.
Well, hopefully the events of September 11th will never happen again. But I think the lessons that we've learned really make us uniquely qualified. First off is if you're not planning for something, then you're not prepared. And I think that that's a message I can send to everyone, plan ahead. And I think that the whole aspect of disaster relief can be transferred to the different divisions and the different territories because whether it's a terrorist attack or something Mother Nature dishes out, I think we need to be prepared. Having the right person at the right place early on is instrumental in being able to respond quicker and more efficiently. But when this is all over, what we do on a daily basis will still remain. We provide dining services in the most unusual environments, from as little as 10 or 20 people up to as much as tens of thousands in one location. But in every case, the solution is custom designed to what each one of our clients need.